Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Miniart, and it is made in 1/48 scale. So we have here aircraft kit, which is still, I would say, unusual for this brand, but we have here the famous Thunderbolt, so it's Mk.II from Royal Air Force. In 1/48 scale it should be quite detailed model, and just like this is not enough, we have also the advanced kit, so it means we get additional parts which will help you to copy some additional features. And this kit is the final shape of the release, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff if you order it, for example, from Modelimex. And the kit number is written here, it's 48012, so this model comes in a nice box. I would say it's typical for Miniart, and here is comparison with my hand. We have really good box art here. And then on the side you will find some safety information, also some notes about the manufacturer. On the opposite side you can see three marking options which are supplied here, and also the small cartograph and the decals map. It means that the decals are printed in cartograph, obviously, and this is really cool because it means that you'll get a nice printing quality. So just give me a moment to open it. And here is inside, you can see that there is plenty of space. We have also these sprues packed into one plastic bag. They are sealed. So I'm going to cut through them and also check what is supplied in this particular version. But if you missed the previous releases, I really recommend to check the video reviews. I was checking the different versions on the same channel, and they are also quite good. I saw also some finished models, and they are looking great. In 1/48 scale, this is a really nice subject to replicate, and I think Miniart did a great job. So we are going to see how it goes with today's version. So first of all, on the top we have this envelope with the Miniart logo, and usually it is used in order to pack the PE thread, so this kit is not an exclusion from this rule. And here we have the unpainted PE thread, as you can see here, so it will be handy for internal and external features, and overall it's really good quality. It's also wrapped into the film from both sides. I usually recommend to remove only the front side so that the parts are attached to the back film, but overall it's a quite nice thing to have. Okay, next we have a clear sprue which is packed into this separate plastic bag. It's sealed bag again, but it's going to be quick to open, so just give me a moment. And I will show what is hidden here. Okay, so as you saw, those are the canopy parts. They are looking really good, but traditionally for Miniart we do not have any masks included, so it means you'll have to cover them with your own hands and tools, or maybe get some aftermarket in order to have the precisely cut out masks. But this is a shame that they're not doing the masking templates. I don't know why, because it's really easy with 3D designed models. So maybe that's something for future improvement, who knows. So here we continue with the first gray plastic sprue. This is a fuselage half. As you can see, that's the left side. We have really beautiful external features. This is recessed panel lines and also rivets. And note that the rudder is separate, cowling is also separate, and if I flip it over, here inside we don't have that much of internal structure because cockpit will be assembled separately and inserted in between. And also we have the guiding pins here, so at least something will help you to align those parts together. Next, we have another fuselage half. Here it is, the right side. So pretty much the same design, and maybe I can bring it closer so that you can check the external features. As you can see, they're looking really good. So it's just a matter of bringing them out on your model, and here you can check them from the opposite side as well. Okay, next we continue with the sprue, which is marked as... I don't see the letter. It's really difficult to find the letter, but it's here. It's letter E, and I guess I will have to zoom out a bit because here we have the wing parts. So as far as I remember, this version of the sprue of the frame is specific for the advanced kit, because we have these cutouts for the machine gun base. We also have some new engine bay parts, and also we have some parts for the machine guns as well, as you can see. So everything looks really nice. Again, external features are pretty much the same as what we saw on the Fuselage, and here we have nice details in the cooling panels, in the landing gear doors, also wings inside this landing gear wheelbase are also nicely detailed. So it's just a matter of not forgetting to add a bit more features to this and maybe weathering them a bit, but it's already your decision. And in case you don't want to open both sides, we have here also the, let's say, closed top halves. We also have the cooling parts, we have the engine bay parts, and also landing gear legs here. And note that they're supplied in two positions. It means with loaded and not loaded positions, which is also a nice attention to such, I would say, small details, which was not present in the previous releases which I reviewed from other brands. And I'm talking about the P47, obviously. So here we continue also with the landing gear wheels. We also have some cockpit parts, and everything looks fine. So for landing gear wheels, I would say it's fine for out-of-the-box build, as you can see. But in case you would like to have something more sophisticated, then definitely go for resin. But of course, it will also imply a bit more, I would say, expense on your side, but it's already your decision whether you would like to have more features. And in 1/48 scale, such upgrade is visible, so that's why I'm suggesting it. Here we continue with an engine. So engine is nicely detailed out of the box. Here I would not recommend to get anything else, and I think Miniart even supplies the P parts for the engine, so it's just a matter of painting all of this in a nice way so that it will look convincing on your model. Next we have the propeller parts. So we have here actually two sprues with propeller blades, and I'm not sure which one will be used. I guess this one probably for the British version, but we'll check the assembly manual. And still, it's nice to have two versions. I mean, one can stay for your spare parts box, and then it might be handy for the future builds. Next we continue with the cockpit parts. So here you can see the panels which will be actually assembled into the cockpit. So there is nothing, I would say, overcomplicated, but as you can see, a lot of pre-molded features, which is really cool, but it will require some careful painting from you, because otherwise those features will be lost. Next, we continue with a small plastic sprue for the wing. And we also get this interconnection between frames. So it comes in two pieces. I will not be zooming out because these are basically the small frames connected together, so it's easier to show it this way. So here you can see the external fuel tanks, also various bombs, again some fuel tanks. Here we continue with the large fuel tank, and also here you can see the landing gear wheels and some parts for the landing gear itself. So overall, I would say it's really cool to see all of those items included as a standard bonus, so you don't have to pay anything extra. And while other brands try to market it as a, I would say, additional thing to buy, here you get it as a standard thing. And of course, some of those will stay in your spare parts box, so definitely a good thing to have. And it might be handy for the future projects as well. And last but not the least is this sprue. So here we have the wing mechanization, also landing gear doors, landing gear wheelbase for the tail section, some cockpit parts. Here for the pilot seat, if I zoom in, you can see that the seat belts here are pre-molded, so you have to be careful while painting them, or maybe just completely send them off and try to replace with some aftermarket PE. But for me, I think it's pretty much okay, I would say, detailing for 1/48 scale. Next, you can hear I'm opening another plastic bag. So here I have the assembly manual together with the decals, and I just need a second to open it. Okay, so first of all, again, the reminder that the decals are printed in cartograph, so there is nothing to worry about in terms of the printing quality. And here, for example, we look at the first decal sheet, which is dedicated to the stencils, and there is the second one, which is bigger, and this one is dedicated to the various symbols. So here you can see them. And if I zoom out, you can see also the cockpit decals, various stencils, some minor stencils, and everything looks quite fine. So it's just a matter of careful application. I know that some modelers are able to replicate the roundels with the masks and templates, but it's already your decision whether you would like to go this way. Of course, the 1/48 scale roundels, which are airbrushed, they will look more convincing, but it will also require, I would say, greater effort from you. And assembly manual comes as a large color printed brochure, so here I will just close the lenses and zoom out. So you can see that on the cover we have short list of the features. Then we continue with the first two marking options here. And those are surprisingly, I would say, colorful camouflages. Here's the third marking option. Then we have the parts map. And then we continue with another page of the parts map, assembly process. So here you decide between the basic and advanced assembly. So as you can see, for advanced assembly, you replicate the seat belts with the PE parts. So they are also included, by the way. And you also get the cockpit decals. You assemble the cockpit and insert it in between the fuselage halves. Then you start working on the tail section of the landing gear, and then here's the advanced assembly of the engine, which involves a bit more parts and should be a bit more sophisticated. Here we have the basic assembly, as you can see, less parts, so maybe for some modelers it will be enough. But for the advanced assembly you can also expose the engine, which is really cool in my opinion, and in this scale it looks impressive. You just don't have to glue the cowling in place, and then you can expose the engine whenever you need to. The same applies to this gun base in the wings. As you can see, there are a lot of details copied in the original plastic. Here we have the landing gear. So as you can see, we have chassis normal and also under load, as I said before. We also have the flaps, which can be positioned down or in the normal position. Then we continue with the propellers. So two markings will be using this propeller, which is assembled out of 3 parts, and third marking will be using the propeller assembled out of 2 parts. Then we have also assembly guide for the armament. And there should be also loadout scheme, as you can see, the stenciling guide, and here we have also the wiring diagram. So wiring diagram looks interesting, but keep in mind that it's your own metal wire, and there is no specification on how thick it should be. Here we also have the armament painting guide, and of course on the last page we have some other kits with this aircraft, which I reviewed as well, and you can find it on the same channel. As for today's kit, it should be already available. You can get it in Modelimex webshop, for example, and I will be happy to hear your opinion, so do not forget to write it here in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.